So Matt, your girl Chappell Roan was in a little bit of hot water this week. A couple of days ago, she was on the Call Her Daddy podcast, which is a very popular podcast. And she was talking about
for someone that doesn't watch as many podcasts as you, what's it about?
Call Her Daddy is just I don't listen to it personally. It's one of the biggest podcasts in that's going on right now. I don't even know the host name, and again, I'm sorry, this wasn't supposed to be part of the segment, but she's huge in terms of popularity. She has celebrity guests on. They talk about she basically interviews celebrities basically.
Hell yeah.
So anyway, Chappell Roan was on this podcast. There is a clip that surfaced from it where Chappell is talking about sort of her relationship with politics. There was some drama that happened last year where Chappell Roan didn't come out and endorse Kamala Harris for president. And there was some discourse because she then pushed back against saying there's a difference between who I'm going to vote for. And she was saying obviously I'm going to vote for Kamala over Donald Trump, but there's a difference between me saying who I'm going to vote for and me endorsing someone. I don't basically saying I don't know enough about it, or I don't know if I want to put my name behind Kamala. And there was some pushback against that because people were saying an endorsement from you with your fan base could be huge and blah 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 blah. So she pushed back. Chappell Roan, what I've learned about her over the last year is that she is not the type of celebrity who's going to just take criticism and be quiet about it. She disagrees with something, she's going to be vocal in public about it,
which is weird because the whole point of it is like you're saying, if you're going to vote for someone, you're either with them or against them at that point. And so for her to not voice that,
like I said, that's what a lot of people were sort of upset about. So anyway, so she tends to double down on things. So I don't know if what led to this clip was her being asked about that process, but I'm gonna play the clip for you guys so you guys can hear it here. We'll talk about it afterward.
Okay.
I think it's also people expect me to play by different rules because I'm gay and I should be more politically correct about that, and I should actually be way more knowledgeable about it. And so I get asked a lot of fucking crazy questions that a lot of my peers would not get asked. And that's because I'm gay. And that's because I have my opinions, but that doesn't mean I'm completely I don't know everything about every topic I have opinions on. I don't know everything about being gay. I don't know everything about being a woman. I don't know everything about fucking fashion or drag or performing. I try to know everything I can, but when I don't answer a question correctly, or I don't acknowledge one community, it's how can I do it all?
You can't.
How can these girls tour, write, perform, interview, sleep, eat, and fucking work out? And how can they do it all and lead a team and be a boss and pay people and be fucking so politically educated? It's
exhausting.
And it's also impossible. Also, why the fuck are you looking to me for some political answer? You think I have the fucking answer?
But you're listen to my song, bitch. Turn it up.
I'm a pop star. I wish I had the answers. I wish the president was a pop star. But she's not. I think.
Okay, so we'll comment on the video, but the biggest biggest discourse came from sort of the second half of that, where she starts to go into how can these pop stars do all these things and basically stay politically educated and take part in all of these processes. And the discourse around that is, you're a pop star and you're referencing pop stars, but guess what, I have a 9 to 5. I've got to get off of work and take care of my kids. I've got to do all these other things. Like, just because you're a pop star doesn't mean you work harder than the average, person. And I still choose to be politically educated and aware and up to date. So there's been a lot of pushback about her trying to make it seem like, there's just not time, quote unquote, to be politically educated. So that's where a lot of the discourse is coming from. But then also the fact of like, why her quote of like, why are you looking to me for political advice or political information? And it's like, well, even if you don't go that route, you are a pop star, which means you're popular, which means you have a fan base, which means people will take what you say and do, and they'll take that to heart, and they'll use that to frame these decisions that they make, regardless of whether you want them to or not. That will happen.
Even if your message is just go out and vote.
Yeah,
that's using you don't need to stand for one or endorse, as she's trying to say, one political party.
Yeah,
but you should be saying, hey guys, this is really important, or guys and gals, we should be getting out there and we should be voting.
Yeah, but she's basically saying she's too busy to do that.
That's, man, it's crazy too, because like I really respected like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton was like, look, I'm a singer. That's all I am.
Yeah.
But I think you got to get away with that back in the day, back in the 60s and the 70s.
Yeah.
You got to get away with that. Now you don't.
Yeah.
No,
because you need to have, it's not that you need to have a stance, but you need to have an idea of what's going on. But so many people, millennials, I myself, live with our head in the sand, where it's like, I have to worry about my ecosystem and that's it. But the reality of it is that's not fair to everybody.
Yeah.
We all live here. We all have different things that we're all going through. Yes, I'm never going to fully know Luis's story. I'm never going to fully know your story. But if there's something that could affect you guys and your people that I care about,
and
I have to pay attention to it. And it's like, and I do not mean to speak out of turn, but it's like, as an ally, if I'm sitting here trying to figure out more stuff like, hey, this is someone trying to pass something against gay rights. I need to learn. I need to know what that is. I need to figure that out so I can do everything in my power so that it does not get anywhere near being voted in.
And that's a great point, because she even mentions it in this clip that she's queer. She's into the whole, like, her whole thing is like the drag scene and everything. And people are like, you're taking those things to further your pop star career, but then you're not wanting to be educated or fight about, or fight against the people who are trying to take these rights away from these people that you're championing in your music. Like, that's where there's a problem, And
I think, like, to her point, how she was saying, she's like, I don't know everything about being gay. I don't know about everything being a woman. I think no one's asking you to know everything, but people are asking you to be able to say, hey, like, hey, this can't happen.
Yeah.
Like X, Y, and Z. What this law is saying this. And I need you guys to be aware of this. And this is how it affects me. Again, that it's rough. I understand that, like, yes, your life, all of our lives are busy. Just because you're a manager at a food restaurant to a pop star, yes, you're touring everywhere, but guess what? You have downtime.
Yeah.
You have time that you're in the bus.
Yeah.
Going. Yes, you should sleep. I'm not saying, no, you need to go 8 hours. You need to be up constantly doing
I would
that.
say that she has more resources to be able to educate herself, too.
You can pay someone to go look up the things and then come to you and say, hey, you might want to be aware of this. I pay nobody. I have to literally say, do I relax and video game and watch a movie? Or with these next 2 hours, because I use this time to try and educate myself a little bit more. And that doesn't make anybody better than anybody, but it is like, it's almost like a civic duty.
Yeah.
You need to care about.
Not even almost like it is.
Truthfully, and that was a misspeak on me. It is a civic duty.
Yeah.
Because it's like, again, it goes right back to that quote. Those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it. And I'm probably butchering that, so sorry. But it really is true, though. If you don't know what's going on, you're just going to cause. You're actually, in the end of the day, you're going to cause problems.
Yeah, and I'll butcher another quote to support that. It's like all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. It's like like being silent is not being neutral anymore. Not in 2025. Like being silent is being a part of the problem. If you're just like, hey, I'm a pop star, my job is to make music. I'm not political. You're part of the problem. Like you need to use your voice to help the world. That you have a responsibility.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
you're perpetuating the don't look over here. Yeah, where the problem is. Look over here where I'm fun, and that's yes, I understand that. I want there to be distractions like video gaming again for me or music, but I do need, if you keep doing that, now we're not seeing what's going on over here.
Exactly,
and that's bad.
Well, and so at the end of the day, like, she chose to be a pop star, so she has that responsibility to get back and to understand. If you're going to be in the light, if you're going to be a focal point, like, you should be trying to do better about it. Otherwise, you're going to go and you're going to destroy the country.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and I don't want to, badmouth her too much because, we're three heterosexual men in America. Like, we can get roasted for doing that online. But like, I just think that it is sort of, I disagree with her stance on like being a pop star is means you're too busy to stay informed. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Everybody's busy. Like everybody has responsibilities. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not like you only have 12 and the rest of us have 24. We all have the same amount of time and most of us are stressed and trying to fit more into that time than we can. Mm-hmm. So it's not just pop stars that are busy, but you do have a responsibility to stay informed and to stay educated. And if you have a platform, you do, in my opinion at least, you do have a responsibility to try to use that platform to better the world. Mm-hmm.
Even again, like LeBron James. Yeah, how he got told by a news outlet to shut up and dribble. Yeah, and he was like, "I'm not going to do that." Again, Chappell, you just got told to. You're saying I'd rather shut up and sing. Yeah, you can't do that. No, you really can't.
And I think I honestly think like
not anymore.
She's a smart woman, right? Mm-hmm.
Passionate.
And I think that there's going to be a moment where you have some self-reflection and maturity and you're going to grow. It takes time.
Yeah, that's a big aspect of it too.
Look at 21-year-old us.
Yeah.
Were we as involved? Were we as engaged? What were we doing? What were our focal points?
But we were also in the international spotlight, like shit. It's kind of
but
you got to mature a little bit faster.
Exactly.
That is two parts, though.
Yeah.
And in that sense, she needs to. I hope that she has the support and the community around her to be able to do that. She has the resources.
Yeah, of course.
So. Yeah, but you are absolutely right, though. I do not know Chappell Roan's age, but being young, you really that is probably where you are your most selfish because you really are like, I'm worried about me and mine and making sure that I get what I want. And again, being in a national outlet like she is, there's other things that you have to put into consideration.
Yeah, and that's why you have, and I don't know if she does, but that's why you have PR teams. Mm-hmm. That's why you have people who manage your public image. Like that's literally their job. And again, not to say that you shouldn't be yourself all the time, but when you're in that spotlight, you have to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. Otherwise, you get in trouble. So, it is one of those things where you can say the wrong thing and then people will look at you sideways and then you're kind of like, well, I'm just being myself. But,
is it causing harm to be yourself?
Yeah.
And if it is, then reevaluate.
So, I just thought it was interesting, especially since you brought her up last week, being an artist. And obviously she's, like I said, hugely popular right now. And she's been in this position before. She's been very vocal about who she is and what she thinks. And she's been in this hot water before and she's found a way out of it. So I'm sure this won't do any lasting damage to her career or anything like that. But I do think it's a learning experience, that you need to watch what you say, because even though your intentions might be good and you might be thinking like, oh, I'm just going to say, if I'm myself, then that's all I can be. When you're an international pop star, that's not necessarily always the case. Like, you kind of have to watch what you say. You have to watch how you say it. And if you're not comfortable with something, maybe the best thing you can be is just silent about it. Like, if you didn't share these thoughts, you wouldn't have this trouble.
Yeah, and that is another aspect of it too. Is when you're saying this stuff, you're always open for criticism.
Absolutely.
Because even us, like again, to the people that are going to roast us for being 3 straight dudes who did this, who talked about on this aspect of it, we're kind. Sorry.
Yeah, hey,
help.
we're just sharing our opinions. Like you said,
I'm a nice guy, I swear. Yeah. But again, though, it really is. It's
help us learn. Actually,
yeah, that's very true. Because again, we all don't know everything.
Yeah.
But it goes down to it being a civic duty to try your best.
Yeah, and I think the biggest issue people have with it is, again, like her comments about time management, and also the fact that she's basically, and I don't want to put words in her mouth, but it sounds like she's saying, like, she's a pop star. It's not her job.
Yeah.
To push people to vote or to be educated or to be informed. Like, that's not what her job is. But I'm saying it kind of is. Like, if you have that platform and you have that much reach, you kind of have, like, it comes with the territory. It may not be your primary job, but it comes with the territory.
What to kind of like not fully pivot, but it goes right back to like how streamers. There was this guy, I do not remember their name.
Yeah.
But they had stated that like my streaming job is more stressful than your 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And I was like, in what fucking world?
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have to be customer service 10 hours out of the day. You have to make sure that you're being fun, being engaging. You don't have to deal with people yelling at you.
Yeah.
You can mute the person that says, you need to shut up.
Yeah.
You're muted. Kick him out of my chat. I got to listen to that person talk. I actually got to reach out to that person because I don't want them to cancel their services.
And that's someone trying to justify all the criticism that they've gotten about, oh, you're a streamer, that's your job. That's like a grow up, because I'm sure that person's gotten that comment a million times. So I think he or she's just pushing back against that, because there's no way they believe that. Like, there's no way you believe sitting in front of a camera for 12 hours a day is just as stressful as, because to make a blanket statement like that, as like you're including ER nurses in that comment. Then.
Yeah.
So you're saying that your job is more stressful than being an ER nurse? Again, think about what you say, people, before you say it.
And they chose that. Right?
Yeah.
You can stop streaming at any time. You can leave your job at any time, but there's needs behind it.
Yeah.
Right.
I got bills.
Yeah.
Everybody's got bills. Yeah. So everybody's got their own shit. So let's just try to be kind to one another.